Scary Harry Gary. Yeah, told you I was scary. Here to continue your avocado education. So everything you need to know about avocados, you pretty much can learn from me. Um, and in this case, we're going to talk about when should you pick your avocado. Let me tell you the ripening seasons right now. All the avocados pretty much will set on the tree usually between March, April, May. Those are the big months of pollination. Now, I just made a little video the other day at my nursery. It's right now. It's November 10th right now, and you wouldn't think that these trees would be flowering and setting fruit, but some of them are a little off-season fruiting. That'll happen. So we're not talking about that fruit. That fruit's going to be on a different schedule, which is kind of cool and interesting. So you kind of have to keep track of it on your tree a little bit. But the typical main bulk of flowering and fruiting, that's what we're going to talk about here. Now, let's just say that most all these avocados predominantly set their fruit March, April, May. Now, the further south you are, the warmer it is, the earlier that'll be. The further north you are, the colder it is, the later it will be. Also depends on the varieties. The more tropical the variety, like a Nabal, will fruit later than say like a bacon will fruit earlier. So now that we know about when they fruit, when do they ripen? Well, let's talk about that. So the very first one to ripen that we grow is Mexicola. That will ripen, let's say like September 1st, and you can eat that thing all the way until maybe end of December. It'll be on the tree. Mexicola Grande, a little bit later than that, maybe a month or two later than that. What else? The next ones that come up are usually my Jim Bacon, and Jim Bacon usually hits about January. It starts being good enough to eat, and then that one you'll pick until about maybe May. After that, you have Bacon and Zutana will start to be good in February 1st, all the way until July 1st. And then come about like Fuerte a little bit longer. Fuerte will start being good in about March, April, and that'll go for about 6 months. And then you start getting into the real tropical ones like Haas, Lamb Haas, Pinkerton, Nabal, Reed. Those guys will start to be ripe or ready to eat. Ripe and ready to eat is kind of a, different terms. But ready to eat means like when you cut that thing, when you pick that thing, and a week later it's going to soften up and you're going to open it up, it's going to be really good. So ripe and ready to eat, all those tropical varieties will start being like May, June, and then they'll be on the tree. They could be on tree as long as like a year. So, but you don't want to wait that long because usually they'll start dropping by then. And the longer they're on the tree, the better they'll taste because the more oil they will build up. But I want to tell you about that's Northern California, Bay Area, Lafayette, California, ripening period. That could vary depending upon where you are, even in the Bay Area, but certainly if you're in Southern California, it's going to be sooner. But I wanted to try out my Jim Bacon just for kicks and see what happened to it. I was out there the other day, and I decided to pick this guy and see what happened to it. And you can see what happens, all right? This thing is probably a month and a half early at least. And if you pick your avocado too soon, it won't really soften. It'll remain kind of soft on the skin a little bit, just a little bit. But look, I can't push in too far. And what it does is it shrivels up. So this is a full size. Like, it's not going to get any bigger by the time it's ready to eat, but it's still immature. Let's cut it open. So it basically looks rubbery. If you pick your fruit, just if you want to try to figure out your pick period, pick one fruit off the tree in question, put it on your counter, and wait a week, 10 days, and see what happens. By 10 days, you really should be softening up. And if it's shriveling up and it's not really getting too soft, like the flesh, then you know you picked it too early. So of course it's 10 days later, so you could pick another one and do the same process until you start to see them ripening up. But you see, I can cut it open, but the fruit on the inside, it's going to be rubbery, and that's what I call no bueno. So let me show you that. Ugh, it's like you can't even, it adheres to the skin really bad, but look, it's just rubbery. Rubber, 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 rubber. We don't want rubber avocados. We want soft, smooth avocados. You know, I can eat this. I will for you, but I'm not too excited about it. But look how rubbery it is. Rubbery, right? So let's just take a bite. I'll cut a little chunk out of here. And it's hard to cut because it's so rubbery. So this is an immature. I mean, you could like eat it, you could cook with it, whatever, but it's not gonna be as good. I know it's not gonna be. I'll eat it anyway for you. Oh, it's rubbery. It tastes like a rubbery avocado with almost no flavor. Because like I said, the oils are gonna be building up in this fruit. And it's just, it's no bueno. But, oh, all right. Down the hatch it went. So that's pretty much everything you need to know. And eventually, when your avocado finally does soften up properly, you'll know, you should mark your calendar and know that that particular tree in your garden is going to ripen about that time every year, ripen to the point where it's edible. But it'll continue to ripen, because ripen just means getting better and better. And continue to ripen in the sense it'll get more and more oil in it, and it'll taste even better over time. And so now you know, spread the word. Come on down to Golden Gate Palms, buy some avocados.